Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle!
Gloves off, Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle! Oh, that's going to be hard to recreate, but we could do it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, so welcome to the inaugural episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
I'm Patti.
And I'm Meagan. And we've done podcasting before. We've just never done
Hockey
the
podcasting.
hockey or sports podcasting before. So this is a new adventure. We're on. We felt like let's start. Let's talk about the announcement that was made.
Oh my
The
gosh.
announcement that was made this past Wednesday. So we're recording this. What's today? Saturday, May
3rd.
3rd. We're recording this Saturday, May 3rd. So we just got the announcement on Wednesday that
Seattle got a PWHL team.
So for those that don't know, Professional Women's Hockey League, I hope if you're here, you know what the PWHL is, because that's what we're going to be talking about. And specifically, we're going to be talking about the Seattle team. So we know that there are other podcasts out there dedicated to women's hockey, and we love them and we appreciate them. But we're going to do one that's specific just to the Seattle team. So we don't even know the name of the team.
Right now it's PWHL Seattle.
That's right. We don't even know what the mascot is. We literally just heard the announcement on Wednesday, and we were founding members of the season ticket holders. So we put our deposit down. We're very excited. It doesn't sound like the season's probably going to be starting until January of 26, but we are ready and we are here for it. So let's talk a little bit about the hockey journey, and Patti, tell me how you became a hockey fan.
Wow. Okay. So way back when in 1994, I was at UC Santa Cruz and not doing much academics at all and just flipping through channels in the middle of the night because I wasn't doing schoolwork. Flipping through channels, living on campus, and there was like 17 channels on the cable company that came with our apartment, and I'm flipping through and nothing's on. It was like 3 a.m. and there was a hockey game on and I flipped past it because I don't do hockey. I had never, the Miracle on Ice I was a part of, but I didn't really understand it. And
Wait, you were a part of that? Like you were on the team?
Oh, I saw it on TV like the entire country did, but I knew nothing about hockey, smart ass.
Right.
And so I flipped past it and flipped and flipped and flipped, and there was nothing on it. I made it back to the hockey game. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm watching hockey.
Yeah.
And it was a replay of a playoffs game. That was on, and Vancouver was playing and they were behind, and I am a root for the underdogs kind of girl, so I started rooting for Vancouver, not knowing anything about the game at all.
You guys will find out why rooting for the underdogs is funny when she tells you who she landed on in the end. Go on.
In the end, this was it. So I rooted for Vancouver. They came back and won.
No, I mean
overtime.
like who you eventually became a fan of. Keep going.
Yes. Okay. So they came back and won the game, and I was hooked. It didn't matter that I knew nothing about it. I was into it, and I continued to watch them through the playoffs. And the people who know about hockey know that in 1994 they went all the way to this Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. And the New York Rangers won and got a big beast off their back, a curse that was plaguing them for a long time. And I was one of the very few people outside of Vancouver who were rooting for Vancouver and not the Rangers. So, since then I was hooked, and I stayed a Vancouver fan for a couple years. I was at UC Santa Cruz, like I said, which was not Vancouver, but I lived in Southern California, and I went back down to Southern California, and the Anaheim Ducks had just become a team. So I went to a Vancouver Canucks game when they came to play the Ducks. That was my first hockey game. I rooted for Vancouver. I had a Vancouver jersey on, and I can't even remember if Vancouver won. I remember what part of the arena I sat in. And yeah, but that was it. And then I think I went to one more game when Vancouver came and played. It's really hard to root for the away team in the building. It's just hard. And there's no easy way to put that. And so eventually, 1997, I became a Ducks fan, and talk about underdogs. We were the underdogs of the league. Like, everyone spit on us and discounted us. And yeah, so I became a Ducks fan in 97. Then we raised the cup in 2007. So 10 long years of putting in time, when we were nothing, had nothing, were nothing but the scourge of the league. Then we won the cup, went to England, followed the cup to England and the team the next year, where they had, at the O2 Arena, the Kings and the Ducks had some games there, and that was amazing. And I was a season ticket holder, started that year in
Yeah.
2007, and stayed a season ticket holder till I moved here in 2024.
Here being Tacoma, Washington,
Yes.
we actually, I was thinking while you were talking, I'm like, people don't have any clue who we are. But then I was like, wait, we can talk about that because that's how I became a hockey fan. So
It is. And so I gave up my season tickets of 24 years.
that's
Yeah,
math.
24 years.
Wait, 2007 to 2024 is not 24
Okay,
years.
17 years.
Again, math is not my subject.
Yeah, and I have a math degree, and I'm like, I don't know, is that 17 years? It's got to be more than that. 20, I don't know, 17 years.
You said 2007.
It is. And 24 minus 7 is 14.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds
Seven
good
is
to me.
14.
I don't know.
We'll find out. I'll use a calculator later. But a longtime fan. I know a lot of people there in Anaheim and love them, and the Ducks will always be a part of my heart. You see the team sign stick up there that I won as a season ticket holder, fan appreciation night. Stack of pucks here that Teemu Solani threw me a couple in warm-ups. The ones that I didn't give away to kids. I kept one that he threw me. Most of them were given away as kids, some promotional pucks back there and other things. And then I met Megan in early 2024,
Right.
and she came to see me.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
We have to talk about me for a second.
Okay, talk about you, Megan.
I've never been a hockey fan before in my life. That's the really funny thing about this story is that Patty has an incredibly long history with hockey and I have zero, like less than a year.
Minutes.
And here I am on a hockey podcast. Can you believe it? Look at how far we've come. Anyway, so yes, Patty and I met in, was it 24?
It was really, well, no, it was
23.
2023.
Anyway,
Yeah,
late
2023.
whatever. Anyway, so we met and I pretty much instantaneously knew she was a hockey fan because it was what a lot of our mutual friends talked about with her and the fact that she loved hockey. And I was like, okay, hockey, whatever. Like I just, it was one of those things. I was living in Tacoma, which is where we live now. She was living in Southern California. So yes, we met online, but not in the traditional way, but that's for a whole nother story. It doesn't matter. And when we started dating, and I went to visit her for the first time, we were making plans for that trip and I was like, "Oh, you're a season ticket holder for the Ducks. Like, is there a game?" Because I was like, something she would like to do. Let's plan something she would like to do. And so I was like, "Let's go. Let's see the Ducks. They're going to be, they're going to be at home 2 times because I went and I looked because I'm smart enough to know how to look at a schedule." So anyway, I saw they were at home 2 times the times that during the 5 days I was going to be there. So I was like, let's go see one of the games. And so there was a game. This is a funny story. There was a game on Wednesday night, the day I was getting in. I was flying in Wednesday morning, and there was a game on Friday night. And I was like, oh, let's go to the Friday night game. That'll be more fun. We'll have had a couple of days. I mean, we'd never met in person before. So first of all, it was like the scary, like, are we gonna, really like each other when we see each other in person or not? But then I was like,
we're married, by the way.
oh, I was getting there.
Go ahead.
She's skipping ahead. Anyway, long story short, we had decided to go to the Friday game and then she changed her mind last minute, like days before I was coming, like, let's go to the Wednesday game. And I was like, well, I'm getting into town, like I might be tired, like it might be awkward. Like I was like, Wednesday, whatever. She's like, and then she kept telling me it was because they were giving away these sports bags, like, first
Promo.
10,000 whatever promo. And I was like, okay, weird. Like I'm like, is this lady really that cheap? She wants this crappy sports bag they're gonna be giving away at the arena,
which I still use to this day.
Anyway, she does. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, fine, Wednesday night we'll go. So we got there, it was magic. Long story short, we had already fallen in love, but we fell further in love at that point because we knew that we we knew that we belonged together. But so anyway, we had the day to spend with each other, and then we're like, oh, this is a great thing. We're gonna go to the Ducks game. So we get in, we get into the arena, and she's like, let's go down to the bench where the players, walk by, and she knows all the people. And so she's like, sit down here. And then the security guard who she knows hands me a puck, and it's behind me. And I'll show you. And I look at it this way, and I was like, okay, great, thanks. I was like, oh, cute, it's a souvenir. And she's like, Megan, turn it over. And then I realized that it's the game puck and it has the date on it. So this is the day that we met in person. So she wanted to go and get me a game puck, which she did. She made that happen. She got me a game
Thanks,
puck.
Brett.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. She got me a game puck with the date that we met in person. So that is obviously a very important treasure for both of us. So yes, moving forward, we did end up getting married in December of 24, which is just a few months ago. She moved up here last summer, and it's kind of been a whirlwind. But when she moved here, she gave up her season tickets, like she said.
I could not commute.
Right. So she told me we could not be the bad K word fans. Kraken. Shh. We couldn't be the Seattle NHL team fans because of the Ducks. And so we decided we were going to become fans of the.
Okay, but she also promised to take me to see the
Oh
Ducks.
no, I
the
did.
Ducks
I
game.
did. I said anytime the Ducks come to Seattle, we'll go see them, which I fulfilled. And not only that, but we also went to Vancouver to see them. Who is calling me? Oh no. That person doesn't need to talk to me. So we also went to Vancouver, which is, 3 hours away for those that know the area. So we did go to Vancouver once and saw the Ducks there too. So anyway, yes, I did say that. I said that is the consolation prize. Words. Is that I will take you to see the Ducks when they come to town. And we did that. And we will continue to do that. That will be something we will continue to do. But we were like, we need to find a team we can root for.
So we got behind the
WHL.
Seattle Thunderbirds.
Right.
And
so that's a 15 to 20-year-old league, and it's mostly Canadian players. And it's actually a really cool league. It's a scholarship league. So it's the Canadian Hockey League. It's their umbrella is the the CHL. So what they do is the kids, and because they are kids, they play for a scholarship. And
every year they play, they get a year.
They get a year paid for a school, which is super cool. So anyway, we really got behind them, got into them for the season.
And the funny thing is when we started rooting for them, they were the underdogs. They were the last place team in the league, and they squeaked it out and made the playoffs, and they lost in the first round.
They did. Did they? But they had a really good team, and it was a really young team, so it was really fun to watch.
Now Coots is lighting it up in the U18.
That's right.
So we like that.
So we do.
A handful of games.
Yes, we went to a handful of games, and I just really started getting into hockey because of this, because I'd never been into hockey before. And I think honestly, and I think that'll be the fun thing about this podcast, is because I don't know a lot and she knows a lot, and we're at games and she's explaining stuff to me. And the more I talk to people, the more they're like, well, I just don't understand hockey. And I was like, I didn't either, but you have to sit next to somebody that really understands, that's willing to explain everything to you, because then you can start to see it yourself. And I think that's really the cool thing. So
we toyed around with becoming season ticket holders to the Thunderbirds.
We did, but so let's back up a little bit. So we decided for Christmas this year, instead of giving physical gifts, we were going to do experiences. And so I happened, and this is hilarious. I saw it pop up in Facebook that the PWHL was doing a takeover tour and they were coming to Seattle. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get tickets. So I got us tickets. I got Patti a t-shirt and a beanie that I was going to wrap up for Christmas morning. So I want to say, like, she's a women's sports fan in general, like totally supportive of women's sports, and a huge hockey fan. She did not find out that they were coming to Seattle until Christmas Eve. And she put it together because we had decided to put it on the calendar when our experiences were, just so we didn't schedule something over the other person's experience. And she put it together, but not until Christmas Eve. And I had bought the tickets weeks before. So anyway, so she found out Christmas Eve that that's what she was getting, but that's okay. She was still excited about it.
Totally excited.
And I got her the Jailbreak t-shirt, which is also a really fun story. So I got her the Jailbreak gold t-shirt and a beanie. But Anyway, so we end up going to the PWHL game.
So much fun.
Yeah, in the first week of January, and it was the Boston Fleet versus the Montreal Victoire. I don't remember who won. No, I think the Fleet
No, the
won.
Fleet won in
Yeah,
overtime.
I think the Fleet won.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good game. It was a really good game.
Yeah, and we sat in seats that I think didn't we
No,
sit
no,
in bar
no.
seats
That
for
we
that?
sat in the upper bar seats, which we did not like. So we've
Oh,
been to
I
Climate Pledge.
remember the end bar
Yeah,
seats.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
fun. Okay.
Yeah, we've been to Climate Pledge a couple of times, and we really so we're weird. We like to stand up during the game, which I know a lot of people don't like to do.
She
But
inherited that from
yeah,
me.
but you can't stand up during play, especially if you're going to be standing in front of somebody, obviously, because then they can't see. So her season tickets.
A little backstory. My season tickets were the last row of the upper section, which I loved my seats, and that was next to
In
a
Anaheim
service
at the
door.
Honda
Yeah, in
Center.
Anaheim. I was next to a service door that had elevator machinery behind it. So I had all this room next to me. People would come up and visit me. We stood up the entire time because there was a wall behind us. There was no one behind us, no one to spill beer on our stuff, no one to do it was wonderful. And it was the thing. Whenever my team was on the ice, I was standing up. When it was a TV timeout or intermission, I would sit down. But my team is on the ice, I'm standing up, which is another reason I like the Thunderbirds because they all stood up on the bench the entire time. It's the first team I've ever seen. They all stood up on the bench the entire
Yeah.
game. They never sat on the bench. They were standing at the bench. It was very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't like to have people behind me. I like to be able to stand up. I don't want anyone to tell me to sit down. And Megan made that happen.
Well, yeah. So we had seen the Ducks at Climate Pledge, and we had sat in bar seats. So like around the lower bowl and the second level too, there's a row of like bar seats that doesn't have anything behind them. So we had sat in really good seats for the Ducks in the bar seats. But then I got second level bar seats for the PWHL, which we found out, and I'm sorry, Climate Pledge, if anybody from Climate Pledge is listening to this, they are not good seats because you cannot see the ice. Like it's really hard to see the
I had to
ice.
stand up on the
We had to,
chairs,
yeah, we
on the
did like
bars of the
knee
chairs.
up on the bar chairs.
Yeah.
So that was not the best seats in the house, obviously. We've talked about because we put our deposit down for season tickets for the new PWHL team. We know we're gonna sit in those.
We do, but you know what
bar
else we
seats.
have to figure out? Because when my season, and another backstory, my season ticket holders, I was right, of course, on the aisle because the door was right there. And every time the Ducks scored, I would run all the way down 39 steps to the bottom of the section and high five everyone all the way back up to my seat. So we need to sit somewhere on the aisle so I can high five people.
Oh yeah, 100% on the
Yeah,
aisle.
yeah.
I'd already thought of it. Anyway,
Okay, good.
so the game was amazing. There was over 12,000 people there. It was just
Stu
it
Bird
was
and who else? Who's her partner?
Megan,
Rapinoe?
yeah, I'm like, what's
they
her
were
name?
both there.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people there. It was super fun. It was an electric crowd, and we just had a great time. So Patty wore her jailbreak gold shirt and her beanie, and I was just in Ducks gear, which is just kind of funny now because this is the funny thing is if you go out and watch the promo video for the Seattle team, we're in it, and she's featured in it because she's flashing the camera with her jailbreak gold T-shirt, and
Which is the best rule
I'm just
in
standing next to
hockey.
her smiling with my Ducks
gear
gay
on.
pride, scarf and my jersey on. So anyway, so yeah, if you see the promo video, it's us. It's Patty in the jailbreak goal shirt, and I'm standing next to her. But where were we going with this? Oh yeah, so we saw the game. We saw the game. And I really I fell in love with women's hockey in that moment. I was like, this is something I have to get behind. And we realized very quickly that the takeover tour was really them shopping cities for expansion teams because we knew the league was gonna expand by 2 teams this year. So
And really, from the beginning, I said that Vancouver, Seattle would be a great thing because then they would come over. They're very close to each other. They could bus between.
yeah,
It would expand to the West Coast and still have Canada and the United States in
yeah,
it, and it would be a great combo.
yeah.
But then we were the first 2 spots in the takeover, and
Yeah.
they kept having more. Like in Colorado, they had more attendance, and we're like,
Yeah,
gonna happen?"
Detroit is salty right
Yeah,
now.
they
They
are
are
very
super salty. But I will say this, Detroit, we came as a package deal with Vancouver. You guys might have showed up, stronger than we did, but because we were a package deal with Vancouver. Like, I mean, I think our city is awesome, and I think this team is going to do we are very supportive of women's sports here. So I think that it's going to be an amazing experience. So we just anticipation, like huge anticipation for this announcement. Like who's
Me
going to be?
too.
Oh yeah, I mean, because we saw it in June. I mean, we're now in May. Like
Yeah,
we
it was
saw
early
we
January,
saw the beginning
early
of
January.
January. So then we're like, okay, when are they going to make the announcement? When are they going to make an announcement? We're like, oh, they got to finish the whole expansion, the whole takeover tour. the takeover tour happened, then Worlds happened, and it was like, okay, when are they going to announce? When are they going to announce? And then the rumors started flying about Vancouver
And
having,
PWHL leaked Vancouver
yeah,
and Seattle.
and Seattle. They leaked the logos, and if the PR person is listening, that was pretty genius. Like that was Taylor Swift level genius of like marketing, because I was just like, oh, now people are just like clawing to get the information.
Mhm.
So they announced Vancouver last
Last week.
week, right? Last week, a week ago. And, it was just like pomp and circumstance and beautiful and exciting. We were excited no matter what at that point, because we're like 3 hours away. We got a PWHL
Right.
team. Like no matter what, we might not be season ticket holders, but we're going to get our butts up there as much as we
Mhm.
can. And then that was like an 11 o'clock announcement. The press conference happened at 11. The email came out at 11. Everything was like synchronicity, beautiful, perfect, whatever. And we're like, okay, here we go. So we're like, okay, we're waiting. And then we heard rumors starting beginning of this past week that there was going to be a press conference in Climate Pledge. We're like, oh, it's coming, it's coming. They're going to announce Wednesday. And we wake up because we get up really stupid early in the morning. And at 5:23, I have an email saying, welcome the new PWHL team. And it was a mistake. They weren't supposed to release
They weren't supposed to send that email at
No, not
all?
until 11, not until the press
Oops.
conference. So we also got in early because we got our season tickets like immediately. Like I immediately hit the link. And actually it was funny because I want to give a huge shout out to the women's professional hockey Seattle group. They did a huge campaign to get this team here.
For years, right?
Yes, Zoe, their
Amazing.
founder, actually sent me a card with some stickers in it. Thank you, Zoe, and we just appreciate you guys, and can't wait to connect with you guys at some point. It just hasn't happened yet, but can't wait to connect with you guys. But yeah, so she was already all over it on Facebook at 5:30 in the morning, basically like, here's the link to season tickets and da da da. So we went out, yeah, put our deposit in, done.
Tickets.
Done over, got the email, you're in. So we were excited. So yeah, just,
Then it came out that it was wrong.
it was, well, it was
And
early.
it wasn't supposed to happen till
11.
11
Yeah.
or
So
after the press
yeah.
conference.
So they closed it down for a little while, but then
We
they
were
opened it.
worried. We were
Yeah.
worried for a minute that things didn't go through.
Yeah.
I took a screenshot of our credit card getting charged.
Yeah.
You had the email. So
Yeah.
we were like, because we're like, do I have to do it again? I don't want to miss out.
Yeah. No, we didn't miss out.
So we
but
got in early. We're
yeah.
like,
So yeah, we're excited. I know. Yeah. So we're excited. And I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do leading up to next year. I mean, maybe just talk about, when the draft's in June. So there's probably gonna be an expansion draft prior to the regular draft.
Yeah.
So the draft's in Ottawa. The regular draft is in Ottawa in June. We probably won't be making that, unfortunately, but it would be really fun to
It
go.
would be right after family vacation.
It is,
too,
yeah,
so.
yeah. We're gonna be on family vacation. So anyway, that was a lot. And I think the moral of the story is that this is gonna be about the Seattle team. The rest of the teams, I already have some favorite players, and we'll talk about that later. But I already have some favorite players for some other teams, but I will be forever dedicated to the Seattle team. And we're very, very excited about this year.
Yeah, because this gives us a team to cheer for that isn't going to ever play the Ducks.
Yeah.
So we never have to root against
Well, unless
them.
they do an NHL PWHL
Hey,
mashup, that'd be cool.
Hello, PR team.
Yeah. That'd be a cool mashup.
Very
but,
cool. But
yeah.
it's also born from Seattle and born from us. And
Yeah.
I just feel like it's serendipitous to
Yeah.
our relationship and being rewarded for giving up my season ticket holders and moving up here where I think my life should be. And
Yeah.
I think it's fitting that we will be season ticket holders for a team that we will grow to love, that we already love. So.
Yeah. And I mean, people don't know this, but like we do have two boys too, like, and they're 5 and 10, and they're gonna be living their lives at the PWHL.
Yeah.
They're gonna be coming to games with us, and they're gonna learn all about it and respect women's sports. And as young men, I'm excited for that. So
yes, and we will teach them, don't ever boo the refs.
No.
No matter what.
Sorry, that might be an unpopular take, but it is one that we don't boo the refs.
This family.
We ask the refs to call a fair game.
Yeah, we cheer them on because no one cheers for them except their moms. And you know what? They need more people to cheer them on. So we do. Let's go refs, call a fair game.
Yeah, call a fair game.
That's
what
their job, and they do a great job.
Yeah.
We love you, refs.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else to talk about this on the inaugural episode?
No, that's a lot, and my smile's huge.
I know. It's very, if you can't tell, we're really excited. So this next year is going to be amazing. And yeah, December, January, whenever the season starts next year, it's gonna it will not come soon enough for us. So
No.
we're ready for it.
Yeah. Totally ready.
Okay.
Yay.
That's it.
Thanks, babe.
Gloves off, Seattle.
Gloves off.
Bye. And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.